Welcome to Dirt Secrets, where we dig deep into the stories, strategy, and surprises of building and buying in Central Florida's hottest neighborhoods.
We're Kim and Amanda from Builders Concierge Group, your insiders in the builder world.
From helping builders create custom urban infill projects, even when that means knocking down an old home, to guiding buyers and relocation clients through every step.
We know the dirt, the deals, and the details that turn big dreams into beautiful addresses.
So grab your hard hat
and your coffee.
Let's dig in.
Welcome back to another episode of Dirt Secrets. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Kim.
Today, we're going to talk about custom versus production. So a lot of people ask me this question. They also ask me what's the difference between custom speculation. We're going to talk about all those things. There are advantages and disadvantages, all these things. So understanding it, what I find mostly, Kim, in production homes builders, these national builders that build big communities out in suburbs and buy, a lot of land and develop, HOAs.
Yeah,
cookie cutter.
200 lots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I find is they're open 7 days a week.
They are.
Well, we're cheaper than custom. It's a message that's not accurate. It's a starting price that is if you wanted everything builder grade. But we both come from ultra custom. We come from production world. Between the two of us, we have over 55 years of new construction experience. So we've done a little bit of all of it. So we can talk a little bit about this subject. And there are positives and negatives to everything. I want to feed a little bit of this and kind of educate the market with another message that they need to kind of understand so they can get the full picture. Tell us a little bit about production homes and what advantages and disadvantages you see the most there.
Well, with production homes, you obviously, you probably have a plan that a builder has built over and over and over again. So they've worked out the bugs.
That's right.
They've worked out any functional issues with it. They're like, oh, that door needs to swing that way now, or oh, we should scoot this over a little bit so you can get a bed on this wall. They have figured all that out. So you're getting something that they're building very efficiently, both time-wise and cost-wise. They have
efficiency saves money.
They have national purchasing power. Right. They are buying hundreds and thousands of pieces every month from, major manufacturers like Whirlpool and Samsung. So you're getting the benefit of those cost savings that they have by they're just incredible leverage that they have across the industry.
They have land advantage.
Right. They have land advantage. They can bank land. They can bank land and hang on to it for a couple of years, whereas a smaller local builder is going to buy, build, and sell, and he needs to repeat that cycle over and over again.
They're publicly traded, so run out of money.
They're publicly traded.
Sales.
They're publicly traded, so they've got shareholders to answer to as well.
Yes, they do.
It's like they can't say, we'll take a loss on this project and make it up on the next one. Every house becomes a profit center, and they have to really, pay attention.
And their shareholders may be looking at their profitability per home, or they might be looking at units. So they're also measured differently.
They are. They have different metrics for sure. You're going to get limited choices.
Builder grade material.
You're getting a builder grade everything, but you typically have, if you buy it as a pre-sale, you do typically have a design center you can go into and you can upgrade. So that base price is not the price you're going to pay. So there's everything from lot differentiation, if the lot's a little bigger, a little nicer location,
premium,
back on the neighborhood, back on a pond, they're going to charge you a premium for that. And that adds into your mortgage. If you go in and you want a little better anything, that adds up pretty quickly.
They're banking on you doing this. They're making a lot of money.
Yes, they are. Their margins on their upgrades are much higher than typical.
It's fun. I mean, the design studio is fun. It's when we help with design and with our clients and builders, you go in, you start, no, that's not the same. We need to go over here. Nice budget, though. You've got good taste. But let's stay in budget. The designer center is going to make you go, ooh, and drift off your budget kind of thing. But that's what they're banking on. And this is what I meant when I said earlier, production's not cheaper. It can be, but it's not cheaper. It's
just like buying a car. If you go in and buy the base model of that car, you can buy the nicest, a very nice car that has a base model.
Right.
And you're still driving a nice car. You just don't have all the bells, buzzers, and whistles. Of course, then you get into the upgraded version of that car and you're like, oh, I wish I'd done this. So I think it's important if you are buying a production home to to ask the question, say, what can I upgrade?
Right.
And then the salesperson on site nor the person at the design center is going to lead you into what's the most cost efficient or effective thing for you to purchase.
How they're trained.
So that's not how they're trained. But you've got to do your own research and say, hey, this is really difficult to do later. I'm going to go ahead and pay the builder to do that now. Or it's like,
I'll add the backsplash.
I could put
later.
hardware. I could add the backsplash later. Yeah. So you have to think about like cosmetic versus structural. Some builders even have a few structural options if you are buying pre-sale, but those can get really pricey really fast. You have to say,
But you can't
do I need that 2-foot extension to the bedroom?
Do I need
or
that
this
third
many
garage
dollars? I need
bay?
that third garage bay. Something like a third garage bay would be a great use of your dollars.
Oh, I have a friend that bought a new construction, and she's like, I can't believe we didn't do that.
Yeah.
We need it so
don't-
bad.
Yeah.
Our kids are driving.
Right.
You always need a thing.
You always need a third garage if you can have it. Yeah. So there's the things that you've got some constraints, but you've got some affordability. And they do typically, because they are publicly traded, production home builders tend to be very, very proactive. When they see markets trending down, they will definitely jump in there with
Buying power.
with more. They have buying power, and they have money to buy down these loans. They'll come in with special financing incentives. They'll come in with maybe more closing cost incentives. But realize you have to stay in their ecosystem to get those. So they're capturing some money from that too, through the title, through the closing costs, through the loan originations. So they're not giving you as much as it looks like on paper. They're getting a good 20.
It does sound good.
It does sound good. We'll pay all your closing costs. Yeah, we're getting 25% of that back in our pocket because you're overpaying.
Oh, and you're also paying for dock and tile, all new construction, almost all new construction. I very rarely don't see this.
Right.
The buyer pays dock and title where it's traditional on the FAR bar, which is a resale contract. Seller pays dock and title, not on the note, but on title. That's about 1.25, 1.3% of the purchase price. So it really adds up. So you're getting that money back, but you're also paying it. It's a wash, so to speak. And now they're capturing and saying only if you use our lender that we own and we make that money back.
Timing too. Timing can make a big difference. A lot of times that production builders will keep quite a few spec homes on the ground because they want to be able to accommodate those people that need something 30 days or less. They don't want to miss those resale type people. But even if you do build something from scratch, it's probably going to go a little faster because once again, they've built it many, many times before. They've got trades there on site and they just move from house to house to house. So you're probably going to cut 60 to 90 days off of a build. If even same square footage, if you build a 3,000 square foot production home versus a 3,000 square foot custom. So that, time is money for the builder, certainly. But, if you need something faster, it's good for you too. Now, the custom builders we work with, talk a little bit about...
talk a little bit about production on the negative side real quick. Because I think there's positive and negatives both. Those aren't advantages, but what's that disadvantage? Because there's no such thing about having an advantage without disadvantage. I find when they move too fast, you're only as good as your subcontractor.
Oh, absolutely.
They burn through their subcontractor often.
They do.
Because they build them so fast and they're like, I can't do this. And there are subcontractors that are only new construction or new production builders.
That's all they'll do.
That's all they do. And then there's custom subcontractors. And a good question also, even with your builder building a home for you, what's your average years your subcontractor's been with you? That's a good question to ask too, because there's a loyalty there. And
It's about 3 minutes for most of them.
Yeah. And it's a good question to ask. And this relates back to warranty. So, look up what are the complaints against whoever you're looking at purchasing a home.
Definitely look.
Because it'll tell you how their warranty lies. And I'm not mentioning names, but there's a big one that I'm like, no, I'm not going to help you buy that house because I'm going to highly say no. But if you want it, here's
if you want to be miserable, here you go.
Because I know what's about to happen.
Yeah.
So it becomes something that you gotta weigh everything. You gotta look at the big picture again. I always say that. Look at the big picture of everything. So yes, they can build them a lot faster, but what are we doing when we build them fast?
Well, and the con too is your house
materials are we using? Custom homes typically use higher end materials because they save the money on the warranty on the back end. They put it in the front end, and you have a better built home.
Yeah, when a builder has a full-time warranty department, that's a red flag because it means that they need a full-time warranty department. And going back to what Amanda said, And there's also differentiation. Typically, there's no more than 4 to 6 plans in a neighborhood, even a 300 or 400 unit neighborhood. There's maybe 2 to 3 elevations, but it's pretty predictable which plan is which. And it also, people don't think about this, but it becomes a real issue at resale because there's no way to differentiate your house with an appraiser. You got somebody that did a distressed divorce sale down the street from you, and they got exactly the same floor plan you have. That is going to kill you for 6 months. It's like they took $100,000. Yeah, they took $100,000 haircut on it.
You got
that's the price your house is now.
Yeah.
And you could be like, but I'm not in distress and my house is perfectly maintained. I just upgraded my kitchen, and it doesn't matter. The appraiser going to look at that one down the street. That's just, as far as he or she concerned, it's just like yours.
Yeah.
And
so there's pluses and minuses. Like there's not one's not right, more right than the other. But that goes back to why we're doing infill in the city, because we can't make more land here. We can't do that. And we have buyers that come in like, I don't like this. I don't want, these little houses next to these big houses. I don't want to be the most expensive home in the neighborhood. Well, you're not. And there's a bigger picture here, but it's what they're used to and what they're comfortable with.
It is.
That's the right buyer for the production side of things. That's where you look up the information, know the right builder to work with, that type of stuff. And then on the custom side of what we do, we have ultra custom and we have custom speculation. What are the differences between those?
Well, some builders, their business plan is to keep buyers out of the picture. It's actually it's an efficiency thing, because when you add a buyer into the process, you're adding another opinion. And, you'll do everything up front. You'll come in and the builder's like, okay, you got to pick everything out before we start. There's still going to be things that you change your mind on, changes that you see. You saw something at a friend's house. You're like, well, that's really cool, and I can put it in my house. And obviously a custom builder allows for that. With change orders, and they usually have a change order process to an extent. Yeah, you can't be ripping bathrooms. But if you're like, hey, at this juncture, I can still do that for you, it's still going to cost time and money. So a lot of the custom spec builders are like, I'm just not going to put this house on the market. Don't worry. It's so close to being finished that nobody can change.
You're finishing a minimum of 2 to 3 months long. Soon
you are
on speculation. You could possibly do
absolutely
with an end user, and sometimes way longer.
Right.
And that's because buyer is driving
and it's
problems.
Fit. You have to decide a fit. Sometimes you'll talk to people and you'll get to know them, and you're like, I really think a spec house is your best bet. Because you can tell that they're going to get so bogged down in the process and overwhelmed and unhappy. And you're like, I don't know that. And everybody doesn't have the persona to build a house from scratch. I've been in this business forever. I built a house from scratch. And I'm telling you, that last 90 days drove me nuts. It became my full-time job. And I had a fantastic builder and everything was going great. But it was just like, every time I turn around, they're like, what about this? Because it was a custom plan the builder had never built. And I had very high-end finishes. So there were a lot of questions. And I know that I slowed down the process at times. I'm like, I don't know. I need to go find out about that. So it really can. If you can, everybody thinks they want to build their dream house from scratch. It's a process, and it is time consuming, and you need to have the mental energy to do that. So sometimes buying something that's 30 or 60 days away, you're getting
no changes.
You're getting 95% of what you went out to seek. You could probably personalize that with some paint and wallpaper and woodworking, and we could always help you zhuzh it up at the end. That might be your best building. Then there's pure custom, and that is fun, but that is a journey, and it is a year minimum, sometimes 2. So I've seen it stretch into 3. And that takes a full-time team to do that. So once again, you don't want to push a builder outside their comfort zone.
No.
You don't want to be their learning curve.
No.
So if you're going to tackle that kind of project, you need to interview and make sure that person is on the same page as you, that this is not stretching their capacity. It's not stretching their subs. They're not going to have to go out and find different trades to do these exotic things you want to do. They don't have a relationship. So make sure you do somebody that has done this before.
Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of custom builders that work directly for you, and
wonderful.
They solve all these problems.
Oh, yeah.
Speculative custom builders are going to be like, yeah, I don't do that.
Yeah.
And I can't, the train's running. We got to keep going.
Yeah.
And they build it at a higher volume, which means there's no time to sit back and really carry you through the process. So that's why we work with people that work directly for you. And they, build 7 to 10 a year. And, then we work with, if that, some of them last
2 or 3.
I mean, if you're building, 5, 10, 15,000 square foot homes, you're building 1 or 2. Because your trades are on site 2, 3, 4 times longer than normal based off size.
Yes.
So it's a big picture thing. And understanding that this is a relationship between both of you, and you both have responsibilities to each other. Well, I'm spending $5 million on this build. I want what I want, and you're going to do it. No, they don't have to, and that's part of your agreement with them. There are times when they have to say no, but there is explanation of why. But we go over at the very beginning. Up front, you sign off on it. We give you an entire dissertation of exactly what to expect through the whole process. It's a relationship. It's a partnership.
It is.
And it's the only way to be successful. And just like all partnerships, you'll have your ups and downs. You'll have your excitement.
There'll be good days and bad days.
And you're going to come to the end. You're going to be like, oh my God, look what we built. And both of you are. The builder gets to the end and he wants to pull his hair out. And they love to get to CO and they hate to get to punch out. I'm done. I did it.
The distance between that is sometimes a vast gulf.
It can be big. So there's a big piece of this puzzle here. But I mean, for builders, custom speculation builders, it's typically 9 months is start to finish from breaking ground. It's like giving birth to them.
Yeah,
it's a journey.
And that's why
ups and downs.
It's important to make sure that both skill-wise and personality-wise that you and that builder are on the same page. Yeah. You mentioned CO. That's interesting. Talk a little bit about, everybody thinks that CO means the house is finished and they can move in. I can move in tomorrow. Talk about that process. At probably to me, the most important process other than pouring the slab. To me, that last part's the most important.
It is. CO is your certificate of occupancy. That means the city has gone through step by step by step by step. And if you're on a construction perm loan, the bank has done it too. So they've got multiple levels of inspection. They're checking to make sure everything was done properly, up to code, up to what is in your plans, and nothing was changed. I've seen foundations ripped out. We've had to pull out because of a surveyor before. We had to take the whole thing out, start over. It was oops. It was big oops. But there are things that get solved throughout the process and stop. So you have a home that's meeting code, and it just means, hey, the inspector's not coming back.
It's finished.
You've done what you're supposed to do, and everything's signed off on. And that's actually your final. The certificate of occupancy is your actual piece of paper that you have to have. That piece of paper comes to
close or
after
and everything.
And that's what your lender needs to close it. That has nothing. I mean, when you get CO, I can walk you through a house we got CO on yesterday, and you're going to be like, what? Because we haven't punched it out yet. And there's multiple layers of punch. You don't need your inspector in right away because the builder needs to touch everything. Otherwise, you're going to get a 200-page report. You're like, oh my God, the builder's terrible. And no.
Be patient.
This is how it punches out. I mean, this is the timing. And it's usually 3 or 4 trades, maybe 5 at the end that you still have to pull back to punch the home out. There's a cabinet bump, there's paint and drywall bump. There might be some flooring things that we find. And, we just pulled up flooring in one of our homes because there was a squeaky. Well, the subfloor. We got to pull it all out, fix the subfloor and put it back in. So there's time associated with that. So there's a lot of little things that happen at the end, but there's a bunch of it. So it could take 2, 3, 4 days per.
You allow at least 7 to 14 days to let that builder go in, bare minimum. Go in there and do their quality control, do their punch out, get their trades back in there, and get it ready to move in. You want to move in to as complete a home as you possibly can. There is nothing worse than trying to move in. You got 2 kids, you got 2 dogs, you're trying to get everybody set up in the new room, and here come trades in and out to do those last little things. Nobody wants that. So give your builder time to do it properly. It's hard. That's the part. Everybody's so impatient at that point in time. Everybody's so excited. They're like, oh.
And it's always delayed. And you're like,
it's always the way you said.
That is our goal.
Yeah.
It's always a goal.
Humans build houses.
And there's things out of our control. There's weather, the trades. We've got labor issues.
Yeah. So give your builder the time to do it properly. He or she will appreciate you a lot more. You'll appreciate the product you get at the end a lot more.
And you'll have a better relationship throughout the process.
Oh,
at the end for when it's time to come back, if there's anything that's going. We all have to understand. We all have things that happen.
Yeah.
There's health crisis. There's all kinds of things that come into play. And that's the key. When they have the key to finish it before you move in, you don't have to open the door for them. They can show up whenever they need to. So if it's Monday or Tuesday, when they make an appointment with you on Monday, you've got time off work or got out.
You don't want to do
got
that.
the pets taken. And all of a sudden he doesn't show up.
Yeah.
He got in an accident. Whatever reason. Got stuck on another job even.
Give them their time.
You're mad. We're mad. He's not responding to reschedule. Everybody's mad. And it's just not a fun situation. So we do love and we do highly recommend, and there are going to be builders out there, especially production, go inspector. They get a little personal. Like, I knew that was there. I was getting to it. I was going to be done before they moved in. They're putting 9 months plus into this. And they do definitely get very sensitive. They're not very sensitive at contract. It's all about the numbers. They're not emotionally attached to the home. But when the inspector comes in and criticizes, they
take it as criticism rather than just a technical list of points that needs to be cared for.
But with that said, and I have turned all the builders we work with around on this, and a couple of production ones that I've helped other buyers buy. This is an advantage to get in and get it all done when you have full control over it. Once you're trying to schedule, it just goes on and on and on, and it becomes a headache for everybody. And you're like, right, that's a little bit easier. And they still get emotional. You still get, their feelings hurt sometimes. But it's worth it. It's totally worth it. You want to know, is the hot water connected? Is the dishwasher connected? Are the hot waters reversed? There's so much here that why not get it done up front? I have some builders that are 23 days from CO to finish. That's just it. We're not going to sell you the home or close anytime sooner. And it's not worth it.
It's already.
You got to build this in. You got to listen when people say what the time frame is. I keep having one of them. I'm like, stop giving them dates. Stop giving dates.
Yeah.
You can't control it.
No.
It's out of your control. There's one that's 10 days. And I know of a custom, ultra custom that builds for you. He gives 34 days, period. And he will not budge off that. And that house will be perfect. And the best thing I love about this particular one, his warranty cost, every year he gets excited.
Practically
it was only $3,600 for the whole year.
Yeah.
He was like, last year was $4,200. He's like, I want to beat my goal. He wants to finish that house so perfect that he gets to brag about his warranty costs are so low because he does. And now nobody has to come back. So there's a word of mouth for you as well. That's free advertising, by the way. Yeah. Pay attention and listen to what their process is. It's there for a reason. And then don't get your heart set on a date. Don't lock your rate unless you ask. Don't
put a closing date on your current home.
Don't not have a contingency.
Right. And have a backup.
And have these conversations with your agents. This will give you so much more stress relief because building a house is stressful.
It is. It is. It's a process, and it's a very complicated one.
It's a very complicated one. But there's advantages and disadvantages to all of them. Just as ultra custom is going to be more expensive. It's more time. You're going to spend more money when you pick out things because I have to have it. Where we can look at it, and when I say we, it's Kim. I don't do any design. You don't want me to. We look at it and go, okay, here's the same look and a more cost-effective product that's still a higher end quality. It's not ceramic. It's not, LVP. So there's a lot of different things that we can look at.
And you do have to be careful, too, if you're buying a resale, you do have to be careful about over-improving.
Oh, yeah.
We've had some clients that have put heart, love, soul, beautiful things in homes and
no intention of ever made.
Your life changes. You never know. The one thing that's constant is change.
Yeah.
And your forever house isn't always your forever house. You really have, even when you're building a new home, you have to think about
we've had job transfers.
Yeah, in the middle of build? What's the cost effectiveness of this item? How much do I need this item? How much I want this item? So those are just good things to keep in mind. And you just, like I said, I think it just also comes down to personality.
Yeah.
It's some people, if you are an instant gratification person, if you are impatient, if you know that if you like everything to go 100 miles an hour, that's the only speed that you love, don't build a house. you're not going to be happy.
And you're going to be overwhelmed.
Yeah, you'll be overwhelmed and unhappy.
You got to make a decision. I'm over here.
Buy something that's finished or almost finished. You'll be better off.
And most of us are not visual. And if you're not a visual person, it's very hard to pick out design items. We have people like you and a lot of people that come in to, I love design. And you go in their homes after, like, how they just wallpaper. Everything's everything. But then they just added them.
Their light.
You just go into it and you're like,
their personality.
This is incredible. And they have the design eye. So there's all kind of different levels. If you're a more visual person, calmer. Not calmer, but have that time and speed where you can slow down and go, let me take the time to pay attention. If it's going, I can't tell. Can you just make it a whole, can you get, that's where you shouldn't pick out your stuff. Or you can say, I have two very specific things I want. Will you design around these two things? That works too. So there's ways to get around different things if we have to build it for your floor plan. But if you're not good at that, just say, I love all the homes that you've built. If you designed all these, I'm happy. This is my idea. And what I like, you tell me. And then you look at the overall thing. You may change a backsplash. Yeah. Normally they change one or two things if you pick everything. Right. So it is, there's personalities for it. There's methods to it. There's financial advantages and there's land opportunity that can change. And not one fits all. No. And that's why we have all the different, and they're all different, but one's not cheaper than the other necessarily. Know thyself and know that builder. Yes. That's just the best thing I could possibly say to you. Yeah. But look it up. Well, this has been a fun episode. Yeah. I always love talking about, because everybody's out there looking, there's so much in the marketplace to see. And it's just nice to think about, like, actually comparing, but keeping your mind open. Right. It's like if you think, I'm only going to look at resale houses, it's like you wander through one of our new homes this weekend, even if it's not your price point or your location, you just look at the advantages and the new design things, and it'll give you great ideas. It'll give you inspiration to either do something great to your home, or when you go out and look, you'll be like, I know I really like this. I'm going to try to find a home that has this or that I could do this in. That's right. So it just gets the ideas flowing. It does. And don't be afraid. We're open every weekend. Yeah. We have inventory at all times. Just check our website. You'll see our... we want you to come in. Even, and if you're just looking for design ideas, I stumbled on one and it was a showing that was scheduled, and it's a new builder and his agent. And I'm like, don't I know you? I know you both. And he was like pretending he was a buyer. And then he was, I would never. And I was like, and now he's a builder and I know exactly who he is. I put it together after the fact. I kind of giggled. Just tell me. I don't care. If you're a builder and you want to see another builder's product, call me. I'm going to open the door, and I'm also going to do it, vice versa. I'm going to come see yours too. So secrets. None of us are the same to everybody, but we can get different ideas. No different than a neighbor coming in. They might have a friend. Absolutely. Guys, then don't be afraid to say, I'm just, I'm a nice neighbor. Everybody's welcome. We want to meet them. We want to hear a little bit about some stuff that I want to hear why you love living in the neighborhood. Why you love that street. It's so true. And it gives a different aspect. So, and then people are walking in, I am in the market, but be very clear about what you're looking for, because if it's not, we might know something that's coming on market and we can direct you. So open houses are a lot of fun. There's no reason to, I'm not a buyer or, agents. Don't hesitate to come in. It's boring if you're not here. Yeah, it is. We love people. Don't hesitate to send your people that are just in that starting phase. Right. Like, maybe I want to sell my house. Maybe I want to buy. Just send them in. We'll take care of you. And I'll tell you, I've sold resale and I've sold new, and there's nothing easier to sell than new for you as a buyer's agent. There's no need for an inspection period. You don't have to. You don't have to fight. You don't have to fight over repairs. You don't have to fight over anything. It's like you give a list, and long as it's all within. I need 8 days to cover everything. Like, okay, we'll do it. Yeah, it fits within closing time. Yeah, we're going to move it. It doesn't need to be a battle. It can be a great partnership. It's a great partnership, and and after the closing and the way that so many of our homeowners become friends with us and our builders, and they come and support us in other things. We have events and stuff like that. It's just cool the way that relationships can really develop into something more of a client, builder, realtor, into friendships. It's kind of cool. So this has been another episode of Dirt Secrets. Until next time, I'm Amanda. I'm Kim, and thanks for sharing your time with us today.
That's another episode of Dirt Secrets, where we uncover the real stories and strategies behind building and buying in Central Florida.
If you're a builder ready to make your mark with a custom urban infill project, a buyer looking for the perfect home, or someone relocating here for a fresh start, we're here to guide you from blueprint to closing.
Make sure to follow the show on your favorite podcast app so you'd never miss a single secret and to stay ahead of the market.
You can find us at buildersconciergegroup.com or on Instagram and Facebook at Builders Concierge Group, where we share listings, behind-the-scene tours, and sneak peeks of what's coming next.
We'd love to hear from you. Send your questions, your dream home wish list, or your own dirt secret, and we might feature it in a future episode.
Remember, whether you're breaking ground, buying your first home, or finding your Florida forever home,
the right property isn't just built, it's crafted with the right team, the right strategy, and the right connections.
You've been listening to Dirt Secrets, and we'll see you on the next episode.